What's up, YouTube? It's the young one with createhighervibrations.com. I had a question from somebody in a group earlier asking how to understand projection because they felt like since the narc told them so that they were worthless, they didn't amount to shit, and no one's ever loved them, and that they're never gonna be shit. And I think there might have been some more, and they didn't understand why suddenly they were feeling that way, or like they were literally feeling within themselves as the victim or as the person being projected onto, that it was the narc was getting their way with that. So projection is the narcissist defense. When they feel criticism, when they feel any ounce of self-realization that might come up, which we know if they have any self-realization, it's not going to be a good feeling within inside themselves. So they will project that out. They will project that immediately onto you or someone else, and that is their defense system to feel better and not feel that anymore. And projection also will work as a form of lost my train of thought for a second, but it will also is a form of control, because when they project all these things onto you, it starts affecting your mind to be able to think rational. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if we're told something enough and we don't have the self-worth, the self-love, the strength deep enough in us, and we're told this enough by someone that we, you know, in our normal mind, we feel we loved and things, you know, and we're told that enough, they're beating it down, and then they're going to use that to control you by taking away your reasonable logic thinking. Like, you, if they can get you to a point through projecting their shit onto you to where you cannot think with reason and logic, then they're able to manipulate whatever they want by using that projection, and they keep doing it. You know, a narc will throw it back to you. You don't love me. They're projecting that they don't love you onto you, and it makes them feel better because they don't love you. But they'll say it to you as a projection that you don't love them, because that's how they defend. That's how they make themselves feel better, make you feel worse. And then they gain that manipulative control and take away your reasoning, because then you question yourself. You're like, seriously? and unless you're like aware of what's happening, that it just mind fucks you all day. But they will project anything to manipulate. If you have kids and you go to court, they're going to project all of their shit onto you to the court, to make the court be manipulated that you're this horrible person. And I can tell you from experience, I've sat and watched a pathological narcissist using the traits of cluster B completely, sit on a stand and I don't think there was one single truth to anything that was said. And I had to sit and watch that. And it's crazy. It's insanity to watch how they start doing that. But the thing is when you're in that battle, that emotional battle, that warfare with them, that you won't win, that's where the mind fucking comes. And that's their projection. All that shit where they're drilling into you that you're worthless, it's them putting their thoughts of themselves onto you. So with that, I mean, I know everybody's at different stages, and I know it's like super super hard to grasp so much of this stuff. And but I can tell you that I know for me, it sent me down my spiritual path. It sent me deep within myself to find me, and that's where my strength comes from. And now, 3 years later, I basically use projection to figure out what they're doing because I have kids involved. And that's the only thing that I even use projection for now. I mean, it's almost like, that awareness, becoming aware and educated on this stuff, and then becoming aware of inside your own mind is a tremendous, tremendous asset, especially understanding when they're trying to put their crap on you. And it's an amazing process, but that in a nutshell is projection, and that's why they do it. Projection is big, again, their defense. And just understand if when they're saying anything to you that in yourself is not true about yourself, which obviously we should not, that's part of half the problem is too many of us don't have enough self-worth inside of our own self. So when the narc says it to us, we're already subconsciously believing it because we believe it inside ourselves about ourselves. And that's one reason why their manipulation of that is so strong on us. So it's going to be in that process of that healing, and you're going to realize so many things. But I guess if it starts with projection, you start being able to see it, and you just get a little click even when it's happening. I mean, it takes a minute to truly get going on that understanding, but anytime they're coming at you with the blame and the you're this, you're that, or you don't do this, or you don't do that, or you're cheating, they're telling you what they're doing, or they're telling you what they feel about themselves, and then they're using it to erode you to be able to manipulate. So hope that helps. As always, you can email me. I think I'll try to put it in the thing. I'll put my website in there. And I hope I have a couple other questions I have to answer, but I'll probably try to do some tomorrow. But with that said, I hope we keep moving forward, keep moving through self-love, refining that strength, and everybody has a good night. So, namaste.